Hey guys, how we going? My name's Cam, welcome back to the channel. We've had a little bit of a stall on the city progress as of late, but with it being a long weekend, I thought it's a good time as ever to get the next build done. This next build, it's one I've had quite a while. I think I bought it. It was the third one I bought. However, it looks like it'll be the 10th one I built. It's just been sitting in the corner, waiting. I've sort of been buying things and building them as I get them, whereas this one's just been sitting there, out of the way. However, it's a pretty obvious miss from the city, and people who know their modules will probably guess which one it is. It is, at the time, it was the biggest set, and it had 4,000 pieces, which of course means I am talking about Assembly Square. So Assembly Square was brought out, I think it was the 12th modular, and it was brought out as a 10-year anniversary of the modulars. As I said, at the time it was the biggest set made out of 4,000 pieces, and it was a base plate and a half, so the same size as the museum, which I built earlier in the year. This one had 9 minifigures, including a baby, and some really cool little areas in it. Looks like it has some really cool places, some apartments, florist, coffee shop, because you can never have too much coffee, just like as I said earlier, you can never have too much pizza. I think there's probably also, looks like there's a bakery, so it'll go with the donut shops we've got. So it looks like there's going to be some weight gain issues of the citizens in the Lego City, but we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe a gym will have to come soon. Future plans. So as always, we're going to put this one together, going to build it, going to review it, going to see how it goes, and then I'm kind of liking the idea of maybe doing a museum versus Assembly Square video as well afterwards, but we'll see if this one or another one. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you enjoy the vid. Cheers. So that was a massive build. Technically, I know the museum is a bit of a bigger modular. It's about 12 pieces more, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things, over 4,000 odd pieces, but this one felt like it was a much bigger build. I think one of the weird things about it, compared to the newer ones I've done, is the museum, for example, had in the mid-30s of bags. Each bag was numbered. There was about 30 different numbered bags, sequentially 1 through 30, say 35. This particular one, though, the assembly square had 34 bags across 6 numbers. So a lot of the numbers had 7 bags to a number, which just meant you were sifting through huge amounts of pieces for each step, as you would have seen in the video. That was probably one of the very few things I wasn't a huge fan of. However, the positives more than outweigh the negatives on this build. It was slightly different in some of the other models I built in that there are so many small little rooms with detail absolutely packed in. I think there's 9 different rooms, and I know I'm going to forget one, but I think we had a bakery, we had the florist, we had dentist, we had studio apartments, we had a cafe, there was a dance studio, there was a music shop, photography studio, I can't remember that, as well as some rooftop dining upstairs, a nice little barbecue area, which was cool, because who doesn't like barbecue? And as I said before, I absolutely love there's more coffee stations and more bakeries. And I think the addition of a dentist is definitely key, because with all the donut shops, pizza shops, cafe sections around the city, the residents are going to need this teeth hygiene going on. So the build itself, huge fun, absolutely loved it. Yes, it was massive, but some of the little intricacies and things were just great. Like this section here with the reverse circle and everything up from it was great to build. The way that this is done with the paneling on the wall on the outside area, absolutely great. It was really tedious to build, a lot of like the little pieces when they faced each other, but it was definitely worth it in the end because it's come up with a great effect. One of the other things that I haven't seen before is the garage doors, which are used in the windows down the bottom. It was just a really different idea that I think really heightened the build for me, because I was so surprised they came in and clicked in together. Another area that I absolutely loved about it, like all the sections are great. The bakery example, I love the little oven where there's a little push down the bottom which pushes the donuts out of the oven and into the main area. But yeah, one of the things that I was surprised with that I didn't really sort of see coming was that in the studio apartment, there is a fold-out bed, which is cool. Like the bed can slide into different positions. And above the bed, it looks like there is some little modulars on the wall up here. So I think we've worked out, got the cafe corner, Market Street, and the green grocer just in mini scale above the fold-out bed. These little details are what make these modulars incredible. Another thing which I found cool was the fountain. Weirdly, the fountain was one of the first things that you start building on the first set of bags, but it's also, I think, the second last thing built just before these street lights. And using a satellite dish to the base of the fountain, that was really cool. Something I hadn't seen before, and I'm definitely thinking of trying to replicate that somewhere else in the city. The way that the windows came in over here, the different pieces that stacked together, when I was building them, I didn't think they'd be able to pull it together, but it's ended up perfect. The details on the roofs, like everything about the assembly suite, I didn't think it'd be as enjoyable as it was, just purely because it is from several years ago. I thought that the newer ones would surpass it, and there are areas where that has happened, which I might make a video about a little bit later. But I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. One small negative that I have found, or one other small negative I have found though, is definitely the side of the buildings themselves. Because this is quite a small building, I'm going to need to be careful what I put next to it, because there isn't much going on the sides of themselves. So yeah, they're just going to have to be blocked somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. One thing that I hadn't thought of until I'd started building it was that it's the first real building where there is a general... The building itself isn't just the focal point, but there's also an area inside where people can congregate around. Like a lot of the buildings, everything's going on inside the building. But with this little square down here, you can sort of have everyday life going on. You can do something in behind with the alleyway through. Just these little details which the singular big buildings haven't quite been able to capture is something I really loved about it. There are so many things, like the minifigures, the animals in it. And there's a little bird stuck in here with into the roof work. It's just, there are so many little hidden Easter eggs in it as well. Absolutely love the line of the colouring on this building. And then down here, the cafe is great. As I said, can't get enough of the coffee. Look, this is a retired build. It is still available, I've noticed, at a pretty decent price. They haven't gone up too much. I think they did just retire a few months ago. And if you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it, because I feel that even though this is a bit of a middle build in terms of when it was released compared to some of the other ones, it ties them together a little bit in that there are spaces for a lot of different actions. And there is a little minifigure which can take part of every section as well, which is cool. So yeah, guys, highly recommend this one. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, happy building. Cheers.